What up? What up? What up? Welcome back to Cedric Sports Training Live. The scorecard. Today I'm covering Jake Paul versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. I'm gonna do the scorecard for it right now. Both fighters are in the ring right now. So let's see how this fight plays out. You know, this guy Jake Paul is a very polarizing person. You know, there's you either like and appreciate what he's doing for the sport of boxing, or you're completely against it, what he represents and what he's doing. And we'll talk more about that stuff after the fight. Right now, let's get ready for it. Both guys getting ready to fight right now. Jake Paul coming out in the Mexican colors with his robe and hat, kind of like Mayweather did. Not kind of, exactly like Mayweather did. Julio Cesar Chavez, this guy's something else, man. He's, for those of you that don't know, his father is a Hall of Fame boxer, Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. The son could not live up to the same hype as the father. He did have an okay career, but, a lot of outside distractions prevented him from reaching the top. Introducing Jake Paul right now. Again, after the fight, I'll get into more details, but I mean, these guys both have interesting backgrounds, man. Julio Cesar Chavez, his last fight was last July. He fought a former UFC guy, Uriah Hall. He beat him. Before that, his 54 wins. No, he didn't have 54 wins. Introducing Chavez Jr. right now. A lot of people here for him. This was also a step up in weight class for Chavez Jr. When he was in his prime, he fought, I'm pretty sure, at 168. Maybe 175 at the most, but I know it was 168. Should be interesting. Again, Jake Paul has actually stepped up in competition. I'm gonna get in detail. I have the box rec up that shows exactly who he fought in the stages, and I'll break down how he actually is stepping up in competition. Called himself the problem child. Shout out to Jake Paul's coach, Third, who's also my boxer Hunter Lee's coach. I still work with Hunter too. I'm just in the backgrounds. 11 wins, 1 loss, 0 draws for Jake Paul. This guy's doing his thing. You know what I respect about Jake Paul? Like, him and his brother, these guys were already multi-millionaires before they started boxing. Like, it's not like they got into boxing to make some money. These guys were already millionaires before boxing. And they chose to get into a sport where you could get knocked the F out. Now, yes, people are going to say, yo, they're picking and choosing their fights. That's how you're supposed to slowly work your way up the ladder. And, again, I'm going to break it down after the fight, but I'll show you guys how he's doing that accordingly. What up, T. Glenn? Are you watching this fight? You scoring it?
Say hello to the bad guy. This crowd is very anti-Jake Paul for
this one. All right. Got the notepad ready to write down the notes in between rounds. All right, here we go. First round. All right, first round started. First round, Jake Paul coming with his right hand up with the left hand down under his waist, popping out some good jabs. Chavez Jr. throws his first wild left hook, missing wide. Jake Paul controlling the early action. Hard jab, hard right hand to the body. Chavez looking like he's a step slower already. The first minute of this fight, you can see how Chavez Jr., his timing is off. Chavez Jr. looks like he's the inexperienced boxer himself. It's only the first minute of the first round, though. He's flinching. Jake Paul has Chavez Jr. flinching. Paul banging him to his body. Yo, this fight not my... Listen, it's only the first minute and a half right now, but if this continues like this, I cannot see this going the distance. Again, it's only halfway through the first round right now, so... Chavez banging his gloves together as if that's going to make you fight better. Jake Paul Jake Paul is using some good fakes. He's landing some good jabs, and if he's not landing a jab, he's landing some good fakes to make Chavez Jr. hesitate. Jake Paul throwing bombs to the head now. Yo, this fight is not going the distance if Chavez Jr. is going to let this happen. He's flinching at everything. And Chavez Jr., he's not one of those boxers that's known for, like, you know, giving up the first couple of rounds to see what his opponent's going to do and come back later on like what Floyd would do. I think Jake Paul is looking dominating in this first round right now. 30 seconds left in this first round. Chavez is moving. This guy. Chavez trying to throw a home run left hook, missing by a mile. He's flinching at everything. Oh, this is not going to be good. No, now he's crying to the referee already. First round, you're crying to the referee. Oh, this is not going to be good for Chavez Jr. End of the first round, clearly for Jake Paul. Hey, if you haven't done it yet, please press the like button and subscribe to the channel too. And tell a friend to tell a friend. Big deep breath. Instructions by third. Yeah, that first round was clear for Jake Paul. I gotta turn the fan on real quick. It's hot as hell. All right, beginning of the second round. Let me turn the volume up. Jake Paul coming out, popping some hard FU jabs. Chavez Jr. finally coming forward now. Let's see if he does anything with this with this new aggression that he's coming with, or if he's just pump faking. Looks like he's just pump faking. Referee stopped the fight, saying Jake Paul had too much Vaseline on his face. All right, back to action. Both guys standing right in the center of the ring. Again, Chavez Jr. he's trying to act like he's getting ready to do something, but he's not. Because as soon as Jake Paul does something and comes forward, Chavez Jr. just jumps back. Jake Paul jabs and then banging hard straight cross to the body. You can see the natural size difference too. Like I said, Chavez Jr., when he was in his prime, this was at 168 pounds. I'm pretty sure Jake Paul's last fight was close to heavyweight. So Chavez Jr. is up in weight classes, not, and I'm sure he wasn't disciplined earlier in his career when he was in his prime. So I'm assuming he's not that disciplined now, moving up in weight class. I'm sure he wasn't just simply eating protein and, anyways. My whole point of saying all that was that this is not Chavez Jr.'s natural weight. You can see the size difference between Paul and Chavez Jr. All right, finally, Chavez Jr. lands this nice straight cross to the body. Yo, what up, what up? Seasoned with salt. People got some crazy YouTube names, man. What up, what up? You watching this fight? What's your opinion? What's your scorecard so far? We got 18 people in here. Thank you for pressing. We got 18 people, only 3 likes. Come on, man. Don't be stingy with the likes. Subscribe to if you haven't done it yet. Jake Paul coming in with a hard combination. Yo, Jake Paul has Chavez Jr. flinching, backing up. Oh man, Jake Paul in complete control right now. I really hope Chavez is not just gonna be happy with collecting a paycheck. Because these first 2 rounds kind of seems like that. What are you watching it on? Watching on my TV, homie. What you think I'm watching it on? 3 rounds to 0. All right, sorry, 2 rounds to 0 for Jake Paul. Clear. His coaches, Chavez Jr.'s coaches are telling him to move his head. That's why I like to listen to what the coaches are saying in between rounds, and I like to see if the fighter is actually gonna do what his coach told him to do, or go back to the same stuff that was not working before. Beginning of round 3, Jake Paul still in full control here. Chavez Jr. is a disrespect to boxing. He's definitely had a disappointing career. It's the thing outside. It's the stuff outside of the sport that kind of put a damper on it. Because to be honest with you, remember he never had any amateur fights. Like he came straight from no amateur fights at all. Just went straight pro, and he was still able to compete at the highest level with some of the top guys, right? So I do give Chavez Jr. credit for that. Again, it's the things outside of the sport that made him not be able to reach his full potential, though. Which is why this is another good stepping stone for Jake Paul as he moves up in weight class. Jake Paul is another person who never had any amateur background. This guy just straight turned pro. and 11 fights is fighting a former world champion who shouldn't be in this weight class, and that's why Jake Paul looks so dominant right now. Like Chavez Jr., this is not looking good right now. This is not looking good right now. Like Jake Paul needs to put more pressure on him. If Jake Paul puts more pressure on him, he'll stop him. Because Chavez Jr. is not looking like he's looking just to survive. It's only the third round right now, but again, Chavez Jr. He's not known as to be one of these guys that's gonna come on late, come on strong late. This guy looks like he's just in there to collect a paycheck, and I don't like to put that on people. I don't like to put that claim on people that, you know, a certain fighter is just in there to collect a paycheck. But in some, you know, in some cases, it's pretty obvious, man. It's pretty obvious, so far at least. 30 seconds left in this first, and 30 seconds left in the third round. Chavez lands a random left. No, he didn't land it, but he came close to landing it. I might as well just stop scoring this fight. Again, I know it's only the third round, but not looking good at all for Mr. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Bam! Nice body shot by Jake Paul. They're showing the replays. They're showing the replays in between rounds right now. Jake Paul is landing some good punches. Yo, whether people want to admit it or not, man, this guy is actually improving as a boxer. Whether people want to admit it or not. Third, Jake Paul's coach third, trying to get him to slip a punch and land the left hook on him. Those were the instructions given at the end of that, in between rounds. All right, beginning of the fourth round, Paul versus Chavez Jr. Jake Paul starts off strong, has Chavez continuing just like the last round, just backing up in survival mode. I shouldn't say survival mode yet, because he's not getting any bombs, but he's definitely in retreat mode. I'm still hot. I gotta turn these fans up. I hope it's not gonna affect the audio. Chavez ain't throw a punch the whole round. Yeah, I know, man. This is getting embarrassing for Chavez Jr. He's looking like a novice boxer in there. Chavez Jr. complaining to the referee. Nah, ain't much to comment on because ain't much happening. This looks like this is looking like a sparring match where Jake Paul landing a big bomb, overhand, right hand. This is what Jake Paul needs to do now. Now, since Chavez Jr. is showing no... Okay, here Chavez Jr. comes with a little combination. But if that's all he's going to do, Jake Paul needs to come back right away with some bombs. Like a combination of bombs. Make him have to cover up or at least take a knee. Get an 8 count. Nice 1-2 right there, Jake Paul. They're showing a picture of Chavez Sr. in the crowd, trying to urge his son to come forward, but too bad he can't get in there and fight for his son. Might be a different story then. .45 seconds left here in the fourth round. Chavez Jr. looking like he's trying to come forward. He's coming forward, but not doing anything. Ineffective aggression. Faking like he's just pump faking, man. Pump faking, but not throwing the shot. Okay, finally, Chavez Jr. lands a nice hard jab. That's the first hard jab that I've seen Chavez Jr. land this whole fight. And that's all he got. So, going into the fourth round. And he looks like he's tired too, Chavez Jr. walking back to his corner with his mouth wide open. What are you tired from? What are you tired from? You haven't been doing nothing. This guy's breathing with his mouth open. Let's hear what third instructions third is giving to Jake Paul. Oh, they went to the highlights. Jab to the head, body shot. Yeah, Chavez Jr. No. That was on the line. Going into the fifth round, same as the first 4 rounds. Chavez Sr. has a better chance at winning than this Tomato Can Jr. does. Yes, you're right, 100% right. If they can switch roles, I guarantee Chavez Sr. would definitely put up a big fight. Shout out to the South Shore, Greenfield Park, baby. Yeah, Greenfield Park in the house. South Shore, my man Tones. Round 5 right now, 1 minute into round 5. I think, okay, for Jake Paul to get more experience now, like he already had experience of getting in there with a former world champion. Now, the next step for him is to get the experience of getting this guy out of there, getting your opponent out of there, a legit opponent out of there. Landing some good body shots. I'm hoping Jake Paul can fake it to the body, jab to the head, fake to the body to get Chavez to drop his hands a little bit, and then bring that right cross or left hook across the chin. Halfway through the 5th round right now. Jake Paul jab to the head, jab to the body, jab up top, jab cross. Just doing whatever the hell he wants in there. Chavez Jr. with his ineffective aggression. He comes forward and throws in one right hand, ends up in a clinch, crying to the referee. Jersey in the house. What up? What are you thinking of this fight right now? Chavez Jr. landing a nice right hand to the head. Jake Paul must have landed at least 25 or 30 right hands to the body. Now a left uppercut to the body. That's why third, in between rounds, Jake Paul's coach third was trying to get him to throw a left hook to the head. That's because I just realized now he's throwing a lot of right hooks to the body. Now he wants to come with a left hook to the head. Makes sense. 10 seconds left here in this boxing clinic. Sorry, I wouldn't say box. It's crazy to say Jake Paul is putting on a boxing clinic. Yeah, it's crazy to say Jake Paul is putting on a boxing clinic, but that's exactly what he's doing right now. Shout out to everybody in here right now. Yo, what up? We got 25 people here right now. 7 likes. Let's get the likes up, man. Come on, come on. Get this more visibility to people out there. I'm just marking this down for just to mark it down, but every round is clearly for Jake Paul so far. If you guys, if this is your first time here, this is my gym here. The boxing gym, 3880 Tecumseh Road East. Rough boxing gym here in Windsor, Ontario. All right, we are going into the 6th round. 6th round. Clear domination by Jake Paul, landing some hard jabs right off the bat. Chavez, this guy, yes, come with that uppercut. Finish it, get this guy out of here, man. Jake Paul needs to get this guy out of here. Riverside, California, what up, what up? Much respect, much respect. California got some good boxers out there. Oh, nice uppercut by Jake Paul. Angel Mercado, what up, what up? Two minutes left here in the 6th round. Jake Paul's doing everything good. I want him to step on the gas a little bit more. Get this guy out of here, man. Jake Paul needs to work on his clinching. He just tried to clinch him up, and that looked ugly. That looked very novice. That looked very novice-like. Yeah, there's one thing that, I mean, there's a couple things he still needs to work on, but Jake Paul needs to work on his clinch game. Another right hand to the body, Jake Paul lands. Chavez Jr. lands his own right hand to the body, left hook to the head. It looked like Jake Paul blocked both of those punches. Dylan Green says it seems like every time Jake Paul boxes, his opponents don't hit him much. Yes, well, in this specific case, it's the size difference. They might on the scales they might have weighed both the same, but Chavez Jr. is coming up in weight classes. I don't know what this fight was at, but I know Jake Paul's last fight was close to 200 pounds. He might not be there now, but he's definitely close to it. If you're watching the fight live right now, you can definitely see the size difference. And if you're fighting someone that's bigger than you, you either have to match them with power. If you can't match them with power, your skills have to be better than them. In this case, you would think Chavez Jr. his skills would be better, but I guess the size difference is the factor that's making Chavez Jr. hesitate to throw punches. Because sometimes, like, Jake Paul hasn't thrown a punch to drop or like visibly hurt Chavez Jr. But what I explain to people sometimes even if you just block a punch, like, you could feel someone's power, and just feeling their power makes you say, man, I am not trying to get hit with one of those. So yeah. Watching Jake Paul, end of the 6th round, he's in the corner, kind of breathing hard a little bit. Kind of hard to listen to his coaches, but by the way his coaches are animated live like that, I can tell they're trying to tell him, like, you need to go and finish this guy off. Beginning of the 7th round. Every round is a clear domination for a clear boxing domination for Jake Paul. Chavez Jr. landing a nice uppercut to the body. Jake Paul coming up with 2 hard body shots. Two minutes left here in the 7th round. Come on, Paul, finish this guy. This just looks like, I said this earlier, but now it really looks like this looks like a sparring match where you're just taking it easy on your guy because you're not trying to hurt him, and you're just trying to get yourself in shape by getting some rounds in. But once again, giving Jake Paul a little bit of credit. He does only have 11 fights. If Jake Paul was a novice, again, people try to discredit this guy. Braden Sullivan is asking what round. It's the 7th round right now. 1 minute left here in the 7th round. If Jake, for people that criticize Jake Paul's opponents, listen. If Jake Paul was an amateur boxer, he would only be entering the open class right now, or in his last fight, which would have been his 11th fight. He would only be recently classed as an open class boxer with over 10 fights as an amateur. So yeah, Braden Sullivan, we're in round 7. 30 seconds left here in round 7. Every round is clear for Jake Paul right now. $15 seconds left here. Chavez Jr. has this look on his face like, man, just give me my paycheck. I'm going home. I want to go home. He has that look on his face like, man, how many rounds left? Tell the timer to press fast forward on the clock. Chavez Jr. just wants this to end so he can go back to being lazy on his couch. Yeah. What up, Erica? Hello. Again, if you haven't done it yet, thank you for being here right now. Your Sports Training channel. Please press the like button, subscribe to, and tell a friend to tell a friend. Beginning of the 8th round. Commentator said Chavez Jr. running out of time. Man, he's running out of time. He wishes the time was done right now. Okay, Chavez Jr. lands a nice hard jab. Now, with this being said, Chavez Jr. had a moment. Chavez Jr., thank you, Erica. I appreciate that. Chavez Jr. They're talking about it right now as I'm talking about the same thing. In his prime, when he fought Sergio Martinez, it was kind of a fight like this. He wasn't losing as bad, but he was losing. In the 12th round, they probably had the fight of the year, fight of the decade. I mean, the round of the year, round of the decade. The way that Chavez came back and almost knocked out Sergio Martinez. If you get a chance after this fight, not right now while you're watching this live, but after this fight, Search up that fight, Chavez Jr. versus Sergio Martinez, just the 12th round, and watch that comeback. This is the chance that he has right now. This is the 8th round right now. Halfway through the 8th round. He looked like he's throwing punches. He hasn't completely given up. Yeah, Chavez Jr. He hasn't completely given up, but he's just playing the lottery. He's just throwing shit out there and see if it wins. People ask me, my man Joe Glad was asking if I'm a trainer. Yes, I got my own gym here. Been an amateur boxing coach for over 2006, so almost 20 years. I'm an assistant coach with Team Canada. And yeah, just doing my thing, man. Got my first pro boxer, Hunter Lee. 2-0, undefeated, fighting July 19th in Chicago. "30 seconds left here in this 8th round. So I guess that's the only thing that Chavez has to hold on to right now. Just think about that. If I was Chavez's coach in between rounds, I'm going to remind him of that 12th round against Sergio Martinez, where he literally was losing the whole fight and almost came back to knock him out. Nice, my friend, boxer in Edmonton, Jason Laronde. Have you heard of him? No, I'm sorry. I'm sure if I saw his face, I might be able to recognize him, but off the top of my head, I don't recognize that name. There's a lot of good gyms, a lot of good coaches in Edmonton, though, so I'm sure he is a good boxer. In between rounds here. Third, Jake Paul's coach is telling him, it's hard to hear, but it seems like third, Jake Paul's coach is just trying to give him instructions, trying to tell him to push forward and stop this guy. That was the main message that I got out of the few words that I was hearing. All right, round number 9, cruiserweight division. And cruiserweight division, that's right under 200. So that's literally 200 pounds. I'm cool. Originally from Edmonton, 106 years old. Yo, much respect to your grandma. That is life experience. Much respect, 106 years old. That's crazy. Crazy in a good way. All right, 2 minutes left here in this 9th round. Chavez Jr. crying to the referee about some other shit now. Chavez Jr. is just trying to waste time. Look at this guy. He's just trying to waste time. Get this guy out of his misery. Fish him off. Okay, Chavez Jr. lands a nice little left hook to the head. It didn't really affect Jake Paul, though. Not really, not at all, it didn't look like. Hold on, I'm going to answer these questions right in between rounds, because Chavez Jr. actually looks like he's putting on a little bit of a fight right now, finally. M. Cole says this fight is terrible, like Chavez Jr. wasn't allowed to throw punches. You're right, man, you're right. I was expecting more of a fight. At least put up a fight, man. He's not even putting up a fight. Man, this is a lot of... You know what's it's funny? It's a lot of pressure on boxers going up against Jake Paul because the whole world is expecting you to look great against this guy, which you should. Chavez Jr. lands another right hand. Yo, Chavez Jr. has landed more punches in this round than he has the whole fight. And then, do you think Pac-Man has a chance in his next fight? Listen, Pacquiao's 46 years old, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. Again, the knowledge is always there. It's the speed and the reflexes that slow down when you're in your 40s. Chavez Jr. lands a hard right hand. Oh, okay. Jake Paul. Jake Paul's looking tired. Don't tell me Chavez is going to have one of these moments. Oh, my God. Chavez is actually coming back right now. Tell me this guy's coming back right now. Look at him. He's putting Chavez Jr. putting his hands up. He's putting his hands up because he might have won that one round, the first round. Oh my God. All right, let's see what's gonna happen right now. Is Chavez Jr. gonna come with his almost miracle 12th round like he did against Martinez, even though this is only 10 rounds? Let's see what happens right here. I already answered. Does Pac-Man have a chance? I don't know, man. This guy's 46 years old. The money must be spectacular. Do you think Jake Paul would have a chance versus Canelo if it did happen? No. Definitely not. Canelo would knock him the F out. If Jake Paul could not knock out Chavez Jr., there's no way he's doing anything to Canelo. Chavez, he's trying to make a miracle comeback. We have 2 minutes left here in this last round. Minute 45 left in their last round. Chavez Jr. being aggressive. Not as effective with his aggression as it should be or could be. Oh, now you're gonna freeze on me? The TV decides to freeze with 1 minute and 30 seconds left here in the last round. It's back up now. Chavez lands a couple of punches, but now Jake Paul is coming back. Come on, TV. Yo, Chavez is catching Jake Paul with some big shots in this last round. Ten seconds left here. No miracle is gonna happen right now. Yeah, a clear fight for Jake Paul. What's the other question here? Can you give me your top 5 boxers of all time? Roy Jones Jr., Floyd Mayweather, Andre Ward, James Toney, Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis and Terrence Crawford could kind of interchange that 5 spot though. Let's wait to hear the official scorecard before I sign off. Once again, thank you very much. Much respect to the 24 people that are in here and the 10 people that press the like button. You got a couple more seconds to press that like button. Come on. We got to match the likes with the views and the subscribers too. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers, man. I think I was at 950 last time I checked. Subscribe. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Just waiting for the official scorecard here. All right, man, enough with the talking. This guy threw 6. He literally saves all of his energy for the last part of the fight. He threw 61 punches in the last 2 rounds. He said no Sugar Ray Robinson, but everyone has their favorites. Listen, man, you know when it comes, I base my list off of guys that I've watched with my own eyes and I watched their whole career. These guys, Sugar Ray Robinson and these guys that fought back in 1920s and stuff like that, I respect them for their legacy. I don't have the same thing for them because I didn't watch their fights live. I can watch them on YouTube, but I don't know, unless you were around during that time, you know what I'm saying? I watched all the guys that I named in my top 5. I watched their whole career from beginning to end. I can tell you their highs and lows. You know what I'm saying? Again, much respect to Sugar Ray Robinson and the guys from before. Obviously, much respect to Muhammad Ali. I just wasn't able to watch those fights live, so it didn't have the same. Those guys didn't have the same effect on me as the ones that I got to witness myself. Hopefully, that was a good enough answer for you. All right, here's the official scorecard right now.
After 10 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for the official decision. Judge Steve Weisfeld sees it 99 to 91.
99 to 91. 97 to 93. 98 to 92. Unanimous, yep. AJ Hustle says this was rigged. Explain to me how it was rigged. You think Julio Cesar Chavez waited to the last 2 rounds? And he probably did. But if he would have gave that effort earlier in the fight, he probably would have died out because he didn't have the stamina to last that long. Joe was asking me who's the best Canadian boxer of all times in my eyes. I'm going to give you 3 people. The first one you guys know. The last 2. Hold on, let me turn this volume down. Wait, I'm going to answer your question. I'm going to answer that question about the best Canadians ever. Let me just hear what Jake Paul has to say and we'll go from there. Actually, it doesn't matter what he has to say. Let me just turn his volume down. So, yeah, the first, you asked me my top fake Canadians of all time. I'm going to start with Lennox Lewis first. The next two, I got to work with personally. Adam Troupish from Windsor, Ontario. He was ranked number 5 in the world as an amateur for 4 years, turned pro, and ranked as high as number 8 in the world. Much respect to Adam Troupish. And my third one is Mary Spencer, also from Windsor, the first female to be amateur 3-time world champion, and had a very good pro career herself too. So those are my favorite Canadians of all time. What other questions we got here? Julio tried at the end, give him good hits, holds Jake more than likely to the body. You can tell Julio wasn't trying to kill Jake like these pro boxers fight. No. Julio Cesar, he was trying. He just wasn't good enough to do anything about it. Or didn't have this, not that, sorry. Yeah, because his skills aren't like top level. But as I said before, for someone that never fought amateur, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., he still was able to win a world championship title. All right? That's the outside of things that kind of messed him up. What else we got? Yes, Adam was training in Edmonton at one point. All right, let me get into this list here. So, let's go through this Jake Paul's record here to see how he's slowly moving up in level of competition. Remember, this guy had zero amateur experience, right? First fight, fights whoever this guy's name is. I haven't never heard of this guy. Second fight, he fights a professional athlete. Not a boxer, but at least a professional athlete. And Nate Robinson, face plant KO. That was one of the funniest KOs. His next fight, he fights a former UFC, I'm pretty sure Ben Askren. No, a former Bellator champion in Ben Askren. Yes, he wasn't a stand-up guy, but he's still a former MMA champion. All right. What if I told you if you had zero experience, zero fight experience, and in your third amateur match, I was telling you you're gonna fight a former UFC champion, you wouldn't just hop in there like it was nothing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, in his fourth and fifth fight, he fights Tyron Woodley, a former UFC champion. Again, you're gonna say, yeah, well, Woodley wasn't a stand-up guy. Well, listen, again, if you had zero fighting experience, and I told you in your fifth fight, you're gonna fight a former UFC champion, you're not gonna just jump in there just because of what I said. No. So that was his fifth fight. His sixth fight, he fights Anderson Silva in his late 40s, yes, way past the hill. But again, that's still a name with the experience. Then he fights then he loses to Tommy Fury. And that just to show you that the pressure that's on you. When that Tommy Fury guy won the fight, this guy jumped up in the air like he just won one of the greatest belts ever. But he was celebrating because he knew how much pressure was on him. Because he was actually the first real boxer that Jake Paul fought. Next, he fought Nate Diaz. Again, Nate Diaz with all that bullshit. Got rid of him. Fought Andre August, a couple other guys. Fights Mike Perry, another former UFC guy. Anyways, my whole point of going off on that is that this guy is slowly moving up in level of competition. So let's see where he goes from there. I don't think he's ever gonna. if you're asking, how far can he get? I don't think he's ever gonna get to the level of like Floyd or Canelo or nothing like that. But for someone that's zero experience, he's doing good. Adam's asking, when is Jake gonna fight a big name? I just went through that there. He has 12 fights. So the amateur scene, right? So at 10 fights, you're only considered open class at 10 fights. Jake Paul has 12 fights right now. Okay, so when people are saying, well, when's he gonna step up and write a real fight? Like, he's only in the open class. He's only 2 fights into his open class career technically. So just think about that. Did I see Tuporia versus KO Charles Oliveira? No, I missed that. I was covering this. I missed that. But that Tuporia guy, he's something else, man. Much respect to him. Sean Penn says Jake Paul is the GOAT. Obviously, you're trolling. All right, man, I'm done. With that being said, Jake Paul is the GOAT. Thank you for being here. Again, if you haven't done it yet, please like the channel. It's going to help with the visibility of the show and get it to the other people that don't know that I exist yet. Like, subscribe, and tell a friend to tell a friend. All right, man. Cedric Sports Training. I'm out. Peace.